Hi y'all, Jeff here with Jeff's Cars and Garage, and welcome back to another video. And as you can see, I am not in the garage. I am sitting here driving along Interstate 49 about an hour north of Joplin, Missouri. And so there's the view. And so I'm going to turn the camera around and hopefully you can see me as I'm driving. And yes, I'm driving by myself, going back down to Louisiana to pick my wife up. And so I thought, well, to occupy time, I'll do a video. And so I wanted to cover a couple of things. In the last video that I uploaded, I talked about insurance for collectible cars and things like that. And something came up, and I don't know if you remember the video about 2 or 3 videos before that, where I showed a picture of the Snowmageddon and the downed trees and things like that of my neighbors across the street from me. Well, and I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention until just a couple of hours, after I saw that video, and I looked back over to the neighbor directly across, right up the alley there, and there was a tree branch about this big around on top of a car that was in his driveway. And it brought up a thought that I want to share with you, because I don't know, without talking to my agent, if something like this would be covered. But, I talked about collector cars inside my garages are not covered by my homeowner's policy. So if, a wind knocked one of my garages over, knocked it onto my car, I'm not covered. I don't get the car, covered by any insurance or anything, unless I have the car actually insured. And so, but in other states, if your car is in a garage that is attached to the house or on the property, other states the car is included as a piece of, as part of the homeowner's policy. So, for my viewers out there, it's one of those things where, when you're doing your insurance and things like that, that's something to talk to your insurance agent, because, if you're buying your policies online, it ain't going to tell you nothing. It's not going to tell you the exclusions until you get that thick folder in the mail of the policy's exclusions or so forth. So, this is a buyer beware area, and please, for your protection, if you've got collector cars, or you've got cars that, may have just liability insurance on it just because, and it's not a collector car, if something were to happen to your house, that car in that garage may not be covered. Now, in my garage, my tools and everything are covered, but not my car. And so, now, back to where I started with this. If a car is insured with liability only, or no insurance for that matter, and that branch that fell off of that tree during the Snowmageddon ice storm blizzard that we had because of the weight of the snow and ice, if that branch falls on the car, is the car covered by the homeowner's insurance? That's something to think about, because in the real world, or at least in what I've understood about insurance, if you live next to somebody and their tree branch falls on your house, your neighbor's tree branch falls on your house, their homeowner's insurance is liable for the damage, or at least the deductible of damage, and it's going to vary by state. So again, this is where you got to know or read your policy, with the exclusions and so on and so forth. So in this case of my neighbor across the street, his tree branch broke off the tree and fell on the top of his car. Now, is his homeowner's insurance going to cover the damage to the car? Basically, the roof is caved in, so the car is totaled. It may run and drive, but you can't get in the driver's door because the top of the door frame is bent and the door won't open. So now, is his car covered by his homeowner's insurance? And I wanted to go talk to him, and I don't know him, and he's lived there. They've lived there. That family's lived there for 5 years, and I really wanted to go talk to him to see, because just to see how he's coping with everything, because they just bought the car. He just bought the car. They had just gotten taken the 30-day in transit about 2 weeks ago and got plates on it. So, and he just bought the car from a friend of mine's car lot, which incidentally, that's something else I'm going to be doing is at some point this spring and summer is featuring some used cars. But that's more to come. So anyway, sorry for derailing, but those are things that we as homeowners and as consumers need to find out when we're signing up for, insurance policies, especially if you're buying a new house and you go online and you submit that stuff, because you're in a hurry because, okay, I need to have all this by closing and I need to have all my documents and things like that. And then you get all this, and then the next thing, 2 months later, you haven't gotten your policy, and you have a catastrophic event or a natural disaster or something come through, and you don't know what's covered and what's not covered. Excuse me. So maybe another video down the way, I'll go talk to my neighbor and see how he's coming out on that. And, they're working people just like me, so money is not flowing, completely. So they have to work for everything. And so I'll see what I'll see how he's going to come out on that, if at all. So anyway, I'm going to do another video a little bit later on this same road trip. Kind of it's keeping me awake, and so kind of enjoying it. But on this particular one, if you like what I've discussed here, put your comments down below or hit like, share with your friends. I would like to know from other states in the United States what your state laws are. Is your car covered if you have a collector car inside of a garage in a detached or attached garage? Put it in the comments. Is it covered by your homeowner's policy? After you've checked with your checked with your insurance agent or on the policy. I'd like to know from state to state, and we can run that as kind of a tabulation, so that others, can make better informed decisions when they're seeking out their homeowner's policy. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to turn the camera around here a little bit, and give you a view of the interstate driving, and then we'll wrap this video up. Appreciate you watching, and enjoy the scenery that we've got here. Thanks for watching.